All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Alaracanfield show, the Awaken Happiness Now global series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And today we have a brand new guest on our show. Daniel Hanneman is with us. He's, new to the show, but I'm sure not new to you. Oh, my goodness. He's very popular. Has some wonderful teachings, trainings, programs that he does. And he has his own podcast as well. But today he's here with us and he's going to be talking to us about the magical path of your sacred purpose and money fulfillment for light leaders and healers. And I know most of us, some of us are. And so today on the show, we're going to receive intuitive energy scanning to discover your sacred purpose, gifts, and path to money abundance. 3 ways to clarify your sacred purpose and step into alignment with your money flow, and channeled messages to deepen your awakening, inspire your greater fulfillment, and align with your sacred purpose. So there's a lot. We have a lot planned for today. And we're going to get started in just a minute. But for those of you who may not know Daniel, he is a master intuitive, a healer, a channel, and spiritual executive business coach that has directly impacted thousands of lives and trained hundreds of healers, light leaders, to align with their sacred purpose and gifts. He is internationally renowned for his intuitive energy scanning and his energy scan trainings for healers and light leaders. Daniel is the founder of Your Sacred Purpose and past founder of Academy for Invincible Healers. And he has co-authored a book, Wake Up, Live the Life You Love, Living in Abundance, that features legends including Dr. Dyer, Michael Beckwith, and Tony Robbins. So we are so excited that Daniel is here with us today. So please join me and welcome Daniel to the show because it's his first time. So Daniel, welcome.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here, Laura. This is so great to be with all the light workers and all the light beings that are here, etc. And yeah, just so grateful to be on this series today.
So I'm not sure if you know. I think we talked about this before, but I actually took your energy scanning home study course.
Okay. Yeah. I kind of remember that. Yeah. I lose track sometimes, to be honest, but yeah.
It's been a while, but I remember it was in 2017, I think, or unless it was sooner than that, I'm not sure, but I think it was 2017. And I remember I wanted to go to the actual physical retreat because you're at that, you were teaching in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to go there, so it's like I couldn't do that. So it's like, so I did the online. It was great. It was wonderful. So I'm so glad that you're finally here with us as well to share your talents, your gifts. And like I said, you are remarkable, doing wonderful work in the world. And there's a lot that you can share with us as well. So we are also anxious to speak with you and to talk about, what can we do ourselves to be living the life that we desire, our sacred path and purpose, and as well as making money for ourselves, and so that we can also give and contribute to society, all that and more. And honestly, it's like there's so much that we want to share, we want to talk about, and we are going to be taking live caller questions. So if you want to raise your hand, just raise your hand if you want to talk to Daniel, or you can type your question in the chat and we'll see what, where we go from there. So Daniel, let's start off really quickly because it's your first time here. Can you just share a little bit about your journey from when you started healing, maybe you received healing, then you became a healer, etc. So just your healing journey up until now.
Sure. So yeah, for me, man, it's been crazy because I've always at some level had this sense of connection to the infinite and love and the sense of the vastness of life at some level. And so as a kid, I was just really shy, and I continue to be more, I'm introverted. I can be shy to this day still, because I'm kind of like that person, especially in in-person stages. When I get into that place, it's like I get into that bigger energy field. It's like, okay, now it's appropriate. Boom, I got something to share. So I always felt that way as a kid, but there wasn't really a way to share my energy, to share maybe some deeper perceptions I had of life that I did was almost invisible to me, but like I was kind of sensing, and we had a church right across from, my church I would go to is right across from our house. And I would go to church on my own, even when my parents didn't go. There's something about, the connection with the divine that was always important to me. But I had a lot of struggles with the idea of like this whole human life. If people can relate to that, like, what's the deal with this human life? We actually have to do this school thing and learn all this BS. And it's like, what a waste of time. I just want to grow up and do my purpose, do what I'm supposed to be doing in the world. And even in high school, I sensed that I was something spiritual. I sensed that it was, I probably would even knew it was like, I'm going to be like a spiritual teacher or something. And I was very depressed, very anxious. And people called me Mr. Invisible. I didn't talk to people. I had, some friends, but, pretty much shut down. So you blend right in with the balls, like that kind of thing. And it's really a dance. The things I've become more and more aware of is like, there's a whole dance with a sense of my connection with source, but also my personal power. Because even as a teenager, there was times again when, as a guy, we wrestle around, we do different things like that, right? And like I would just feel like I'd be unlimited. I could just take any of the kids I'm wrestling with and just throw them 20 feet, like, or something. Like I literally did sometimes stuff like that. I'd just be like, it just like. And I just would tell people I would really connect with that aspect with He-Man was big back then, right? I'm like, just like He-Man, I've got the power. And so I always had that connection. And maybe, again, usually people are like, yeah, I experienced something along these lines, when I share these stories. And so I didn't really know about the intuition other than I would win bets a lot. Like I would be like, oh, I feel this will happen, that'll happen. And people were like, you're crazy, that's never going to happen. And then it would happen. And so, I wasn't right all the time, but I found I had a gift in that area. But anyway, I did a lot of journaling, a lot of work on myself. Mostly I was just screaming in my journal about how everything sucked. But, I was kind of working on myself at the same time. Got into creative writing because I was just like, man, vast new universes are available. And I used creative writing to try to tap into that. And then I got into psychology and all that. Eventually, once I got into college, I started with creative writing. And then I got into sales because I was so, I wouldn't ask girls out. I wouldn't do any. My sister got pregnant, I had a marriage and all that sort of thing, which is a bigger deal back then than now. But and then didn't even know who the father was at first. It was like he didn't want anything to do with my niece and stuff. And it's just like, well, I'll never do that, right? So I had this whole thing where I was afraid to step into my power, step into all my capacities, or to let any of my gifts to be visible, right? It's just like it's too weird, right? So my coming out party sort of was in college. I started coming out of my shell. And then when I got into sales, then I was like, okay, that's it. I'm going to get through this whole thing, and it did help, but I didn't care about copiers, but I wanted to be enthused about something. I wanted to share my enthusiasm with the world, did hundreds of cold calls a week. And then I was always like, probably one of the most, I was the most persistent person in the company when it came to like making those calls, like, and that's what kept me employed there, even though I wasn't making a lot of sales because I didn't care about copiers,
Right.
So eventually, but I was really good at persuading my employers, like about my enthusiasm and how, we just keep at it, it'll work, like I've always been that guy, and so anyway, eventually though, I left there and then mutually we decided like, yeah, we love you, but it's time for you to go. Yeah, I agree. Okay. So I will go back to school, get my master's in clinical psychology, where I'm roundly like, eventually, like I did well in the school part, but then they're like, oh, wow, you're so awkward and doing your clinicals and talking to people. Like, again, the awkwardness, the shyness, the differentness. And I was doing a lot of downloading and connecting with people, but they didn't know what I was doing. So I was just holding this presence for people, not talking. So like, you're too low key. And by the way, you argue with us too much. You're always asking all of us the same questions. And, like, what's your deal? And I'm like, I'm just trying to do the best job I can, So, but they saw, they had ego issues, quite frankly, as part of it. And so they ended up holding me back, from graduating and saying I need remediation and all this weird stuff. It got really weird. And everybody says, watch it with these teachers or you'll be Hannemanized. I became known as a legend of what can happen to you if you mess with these professors in my program, because I got a master's in clinical psychology. And, anyway, so I say all that because I just didn't fit in anywhere is my theme. Then I go in my first job right away. They're like, you're not doing, like I was doing the right things, but they still accusing me. You're doing the wrong things. You're doing it. And I got fired like right away, like within a month. So it's like, and when it was, even with the master's degree, they're like, well, we're not sure if you really can make a good career. But one thing they did know, one thing they get recognized there. They say, man, you know how to tune in. We don't know what that's all about. Man, you could do these assessments. And, and then the students would come to me that were in the same program, but like really smart people. They'd be smart in any college. They're really smart people. And they're like, "Whoa, can you tune into my client?" I'm like, "Why are you coming to me?" And I didn't know back then. And they're like, "Well, some people just know things, and you're one of those people." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right." So I started to realize this thing, and then after that, then once I got in the right environment, then I've all of a sudden then I was popular and getting promotions and everything. I started working with actually the chronically mentally ill, so to speak. So I was bringing spiritual truth. They did need more of just a deeper presence and listening, I felt, and see them for who they really are rather than just labels and all the usual stuff they do with them. And I was valued with what I was doing in that work. So I was like, okay, finally I'm valued, in this kind of way. And so then I got into metaphysics with science of mind, got into all that. And I just really took off with it. I'm like, this is the teaching I always knew about, like deep down inside, we can make anything happen. And so I started using that, manifesting my soulmate that way. Like, just like I get focus and clear and manifest that thing that you want, whatever it is. And so I started having successes with that in my life and got, more and more magical. And then fast forward in, then eventually, I did hypnosis certifications and stuff like that. So I started learning more about the power of working with the subconscious, all those things. And then I got into private practice doing that. And then eventually I was still working a job though. And then I quit my job. And then I went full force into online back in 2006 with what back then it was called Blockbust Your Path. Because I've always had within my field, I'm totally namaste. I'm totally the deep presence, but I'm also like, all right, no bullshit though. Let's go. Yeah. I've always had that in me, and so, because there's a lot of nonsense that could come into the spiritual ideas sometimes, as fun as they are, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes they're poisoning us, well, if you only work with your crystals and you only do this thing or do that thing, that's all that really matters. And come on, you got more in you than that.
Exactly.
I'll call that forth in people. So I started helping people online. I struggled a lot though, because I still had the problems of not being fierce enough, strong enough. And eventually I broke through that. But along the way, I learned this energy scanning thing. I learned it. I knew I had this gift because I was opening up psychically. Like I could just literally, I could heal things like instantly, just I have a cut on my finger. I flip my hand around and I'll be like, that's not real. And then it'll be gone. And I flip my hand back, just all those really weird things, trippy things that could happen. And I started realizing I could command, anything I really cared about, anything I really wanted to command at the time, so I was really into that at that time. So I'm like, I bring down the gas prices and then boom, somebody be taking them down visibly for me the next day, or the car's broken. Oh, it's got to go in the shop for sure. And just send the energy. Oh, it's working. How'd that happen? Whatever it was, I kept testing myself. I'm like, yeah, this works, right? And so, but yet still I struggled in my business because I wasn't willing to be stronger in my energy with the money and people investing and working with me. So finally, it was probably no one singular breakthrough, but sort of my singular breakthrough at the time was just telling someone who was thinking about working with me after I did a scan with this person. I says, yeah, we can tell, let's do it. I can totally help you with this, all that. She goes, she was like reflecting my own doubts. She's like, are you sure though? Are you sure? Yeah. I'm like, this is my voice. This is my voice. This isn't just her. This is me. She's reflecting me. I'm totally sure now. Get out your credit card and let's go. Like I literally said that. And I thought, part of my mind is thinking, oh my God, you're being way too tough. You're way too aggressive. She did. And at the end, to make sure that I was perfectly acknowledged for what I was doing, she says, thank you so much. You're just such a gentle, beautiful soul, or whatever. Like I had been actually kind of, for me, really fierce. So I started realizing that fierceness is really part of my path, and so anyway, I built a livelihood around 6 figures, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to start this academy for Invincible Healers. I'm going to train other people to do energy scanning and how to thrive. And so I created that, did certifications, and I did help people get more clients and start getting more abundant with life, more abundant with the energy of money. And some people did take off. Some people did get the money and the clients and everything. But there's one of the things I started realizing is that people mostly just want to feel good. They want to be happy, like you say on here. They want to awaken to that. They want to feel that vibrancy. And whether they make $1 billion or they making an extra 1,000 a month, they can be happy, So I also realized that it's not, maybe it could be for everybody in a way, like, making a lot more money and everything. But ultimately, it's about the energy you want to experience. And so that came so abundantly clear to me with that tribe that I was working with. And then people did get new clients, people did grow, but I was always like, oh, everybody should be 6 figures and beyond. And that didn't happen for everybody. I'm not one of those fake advertisers. Like, let me show you 1 or 2 testimonials. So like, everybody gets this exact result, right? So I got into your sacred purpose back in around 2017. That's what I call that's the thing I go with now. And I help people in various ways. Channel, I do, energy work. I do a lot of what I do is one-to-one, high-level coaching and support of people that are ready to rock in a big way. But I also continue to do energy scan trainings as well at times, and just wherever I'm called to serve as a lot, the light leader that I am. And, so when these things come up, I'm here too. So, and I'm bringing more, my plans are to really share more of my channeling, because that is something that people tell me, my tuning in overall, right? Whether it's channeling or energy scanning. I know other people say to me, they say, you're the best, or you're one of the best I've ever seen, even people that, work with a lot of people. So at least that's what people tell me, maybe they're just trying to make me feel good. I don't know, but like, that's what people tell me. So
nice.
So that gives you an idea of my background, at least. So.
Yeah. And the thing is, one of the key points about that is that, you tried a few different things, and then until you found the perfect environment for you, that's when you really started to flourish, right? And that gave you the confidence, and that gave you your voice as well, right? And you could actually truly just be you instead of
exactly. Yeah, and that's always the key, Lars. Doing so many of these all the time, like you, Vance, this wonderful person doing this, and so is that when we're not being ourselves, what happens? Everything in our life looks like it's not working, right? Like, I'm in the wrong environment. I've got the wrong relationships. I'm doing the wrong work, so to speak, in that it's not, aligned to your highest. And that's what shows up when you're not showing up as being you. So sometimes people are like, well, why is this happening? Why is that happening? Well, you're not being you, and maybe you don't know who you are, or maybe it doesn't feel safe to be you yet. I've certainly experienced that time. Oh my God, to this day, I feel levels of that, right? So it's like we continue to move through that, through all the programming concepts. And, like just a little thing, but real quick, but like on Facebook, I put up a post this week. I said the pitch is back, that I'm going to start pitching more again, with my business, because for a while, I think I started buying into what everybody was saying, like, oh, you shouldn't pitch so much, just value, just throw in an offer here and there. It becomes a mental program, and all of a sudden then we're restricted by that, rather than just being ourselves. Like, I don't know, maybe I want to be a pitching machine. At least I'm giving myself the permission to let that go full blast if that's how I want to be. So even like those of us, come to these higher levels of actualization, we run into these patterns, and sometimes they come back again in different ways. And it's a constant work in progress. So
absolutely, that's what I would say. I'm a work in progress. My
right.
life is a work in progress, and sometimes there's cycles that we go through. Like sometimes
Yes,
we're
true.
quiet and just laid back a little bit, and then we suddenly have a burst of energy, and something is shifting and changing within us, and that's what's moving us forward in other directions, or just putting more stuff out. For example.
Mm.
So, it's okay. Like, there's no judgment, right? But it's a matter of, okay, what am I doing and why am I doing this? And why am I not doing this? Right. So asking yourself questions about what's going on. Right. And even getting to that point of being able to ask yourself a question, is a big step. Right. And because a lot of times we go into judgment, it's like, oh my God, why is my business not successful? Why am I not making the money? Why don't I have friends? Why don't I have this? Why don't I have a soulmate? Like we just go into judgment instead of truly asking the question, okay, what do I really want? What would be fun for me? Well, what's my soul calling me to do at this moment?
Right.
Right. So we really have to like not go into judgment. That's the biggest thing for me, is like staying out
Yeah.
of judgment, and also just accepting sometimes where you are in the moment. This is where I am right now, and being
Yeah.
okay with that. And then once you're okay with it, then you can really truly move into the next phase or next step. Because if you're resisting all the time, you're not moving anywhere. You're just staying in the spiral, right?
Oh, my biggest sign that I'm out of alignment is if for some reason my judging mind starts creeping in and getting stronger and really louder, right? Because for me, like the whole personal development stuff is great, and all the stuff and motivational stuff and goals and all that, but sometimes it gets to be a monster. It's just a beast. It's not the deeper thing, right? So it's like, okay, I'm going to crank it out. I'm going to make all these things happen. And, for me personally, like, I just find that it doesn't really work as well as people advertise. Like, okay, you may achieve all these things and get more done than anybody else in certain ways, but that doesn't mean you're happy. It doesn't mean you're actually happy. You may tell people you're happy because that's what you got to advertise, but it doesn't mean you're happy. So, so that's one of the things is when you said judgment, I'm like, we judge ourselves all the time. Oh, I'm falling short again. And, all this, like we've done that. Okay. We don't need to keep telling ourselves we've fallen short. Instead, like, just realize like, hey, it's never going to get any better than it is right now. And yet I can experience, more vibrancy in my life, even though it never really gets any better, like this moment is perfect, yet I could experience more vibrancy at the same time. And that we go in that direction. Yeah.
And it's also about, what are you focusing on, right? So
Yeah.
are you focusing on all the good stuff that is there in your life, or are you just focusing on that one thing that may not
Right.
be working, right?
Right.
That one thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and
Everything be perfect if I just got that one thing done,
that
right?
one
There'll be
thing.
another thing. Yeah.
And the thing is, sometimes, we're doing a lot of work on ourselves, right? Inner works, and working on our blocks, our challenges, etc. And so a lot of that sometimes too takes time for us to process through as well. So we need to give ourselves that space to, like, all right, I'm processing a lot of stuff. So it's like, all right, I'm going to give myself space to go through it, and recognize that, all right, in this moment, maybe I don't need to do as like 150% of what I want to do. Maybe let's just cut it back a little bit to like 80%, just so that I can continue to process and evolve, right? And I think that's the piece that people forget. It's like so many of us are doing the inner work, but they're not recognizing that they have to still go through the process of it.
Right.
And
Right.
during that process, it requires us to be gentle with ourselves and compassionate, and not just push in every other direction, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. That inner pusher gets to be out of control sometimes, and but there's also I just want to lay on the couch like and just veg out and just chill out and incense all day. That sounds perfect, right? Part of me would love that too, that sort of vibe. But I find like ultimately it's not satisfying for me anyway
Yeah,
either.
I agree.
It's a matter of like what suits your energy, what
Yeah.
suits your soul. And it looks different for different people. For a long time, I think my mind judged, like I look at someone like I love, like Eckhart or something, right? I'm like, oh, if we only could all be more like Eckhart. But I'm not Eckhart, and you aren't either, and nobody else here is. Well, there's only one Eckhart.
Yeah.
Not to make him better or worse, right? He is his own quantity. And so for us to be fully awakened and happy, and what our thing is, it's going to look different for everybody. It's not going to look exactly the same for everyone.
Absolutely. All right. So I want to talk about this because this is important. You talk a lot about sacred purpose,
Mhm.
walking the path, living your life on purpose with passion, etc. But a lot of people, they don't know what their path is. They don't know what their purpose is. And I'll be honest, please don't, shoot the messenger, guys. But in this industry, you know, people expect you to be like everybody else. Oh, I should be psychic, so I should be seeing things. I should be clairvoyant. Everybody says they see stuff. It's like, my path is not that. I'm a feeler. I'm a knower. I don't see as much. I do see some, but I don't see as much. But I'm okay with that, right? So each of our path is going to be different. So we are not going to be like everybody else, like you just said. We're not all going to be Eckhart Tolle. We're not all going to be Daniel either, right? But
Right.
it's also recognizing that we do have certain gifts. If you're willing to recognize something and everything to be a gift, right? So for example, believe it or not, I used to be very shy. I used to stutter when I was younger. I was the wallflower, right? I was never the center of attention. It's like that was not me. And so when I started doing this telesummit back in 2013, I'm like, what the heck am I doing? It's like, how can I be talking to all these people who are like so talented, so gifted, so everything, and I can't even talk, So it's like, that it turns out I have no problem talking, right? I don't think I've started in, I don't even know when, right? So this is, for me, communication is a gift. But I didn't know that before when I was growing up and, all my life. I did not know that until I started doing the telesummit. It's like, yeah, this is a gift. I didn't, so I, found out that gift by doing something, right? And it's not the traditional gift of being psychic, being a healer, being, all those other things that people expect in this industry, but it's still a gift.
Right, exactly. We're all, although like when people do like the energy scan training, for example, like everybody actually applies themselves fully to that. Like they will go out and, you know, a large majority, I'll say, who knows if it's every single person. Basically, my students get the same sort of testimonials I get. Now, would people say they're as good as me? I don't know, but like they get the same sounding testimony. Oh my God, everything's bang on, everything's amazing. And,
Yeah.
because we all have the gifts, but it looks differently. Like for me, I've got the feeling intuition. I've got, like that's my primary, right? You've got a primary sense, whatever it is. So it's good to identify what that is. Okay, for me, seems to be feeling, but who knows? Sometimes I might just know something. Sometimes I might I might hear something. Sometimes I might get images, right? And so it looks different. And I think it's getting a little bit better in the world, but like it used to be, everybody is just like, I gotta be clairvoyant.
I know,
Until I'm
right?
clairvoyant, then I'm nothing. And like it's
Exactly.
ridiculous. Like I'm clairvoyant, sure, but it's not, I could be as clairvoyant as I want to be because I've got a strong ability to just bring in whatever interests me. But it's not just naturally occurring. Like I'm not naturally like the most clairvoyant person in the world. I'm just that's not my first sense. So you're right, that's such a good point. It's like it all looks different for all of us, and how we use our gifts and what we desire, what our purpose is, and therefore what our fulfillment it will be. I know people that don't want to do much. They just want to sit in presence but and that's authentic, that's true for them. But see, that's the key. It's not that everybody should be one way. We all have our own way of stepping into our purpose and letting it work for us. And because here's another thing, like everybody says, well, massive action, like in a motivational industry. But like there are people like Eckhart and other people I know that they're like just the opposite. They're like massive presence, and I just work with inspiration, right? And I think the more I think as a society, of course, we're guided to be more in that direction. That's why someone like him is so popular, right? We get it, like we need more presence. So, but some of us might be drawn to be way more active than an Eckhart. Eckhart doesn't, unless he's doing a retreat or something, he isn't working a ton of hours at all. Like I know directly. So yeah, so it looks different for everybody, totally.
So what does purpose or sacred purpose mean to you?
Yeah, sacred purpose, when I came up with that, I didn't come up with the term, I suppose, but when I came up with it for myself to talk about it, it really means like what are you really here for? You're here to wake up. You're here for both an inner and outer purpose, right? And again, I'm not unique in sharing it this way, but it's true. We're here for that inner awakening, and that connects too, though, with what it seems to be the so-called outer purpose. Like, what are we here to do in the world, right? Whereas the inner purpose is, hey, simply to reawaken to the trueness of who we are, right? So to just come back into that. So really simply put, it is that it's embodying, the true presence and truth of who you are fully, and then through that you get to, you're getting to know you, getting to know all about you, and then as you get to know about all that, you want to play with it, you want to bring it out in the world, and
Exactly.
all of it's this beautiful colors, because once you start realizing like all the fears you have are completely illusions. Like there are, I mean, because even if you get killed, even if you get dissected in a million pieces, even if all your whole family is decimated, even your whole country is, if the whole world gets sliced up in a million pieces, we're still one with the infinite. We're still one with presence. We are indestructible. The essence of who we really are is indestructible. Therefore, ultimately, all these ideas, all these fears, ultimately are illusions, like at their foundation. So once you really continue to wake up to that, and sometimes the process is not all at once for all of us, but you start realizing, well, what am I afraid of? I'm not, usually the big thing is persecution, right? And all my scans, like, well, you're killed in past lives, so now you're holding back on your gifts now, right? So who cares? You're still here. See, you came back. It's nothing. It's no big deal. So
I totally agree.
Moving through those phantom fears, once you awaken to who you really are, and that you have these gifts that are meant to be circulated, there's a soul intention for that you're here to fulfill, and to enjoy it. You're meant to enjoy it. We're not. Oh, we all want to go back home. Yeah, okay, great. Well, that's not really the point, though. The point is to enjoy, what you got going on right here. It'd be like, hey, I'm really looking forward to getting to the arcade to play games and stuff, right? You want to go, or you want to go do something, or have a fun night out somewhere. Okay, you go there and you're like, well, this is kind of fun, but I really want to get home. I really want to get home. And all you're thinking all night is, I really want to get home. Well, you're going to miss all the fun while you're out, right?
True.
Quit saying you just want to go home only, Why don't you, come to realize, like, I'm at home wherever I am. I'm here in the physical, I'm at home. I'm back into the pure potential fullness of the oneness of all that is, whatever. Okay, all right, you're there, but like to always fully embrace wherever you are, because that's the way. That's the enlightened path.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, be here and enjoy your life, right? Be here and enjoy the present moment, even instead of judging it and wanting something else, right? So I mean, we can all want a little bit of something different, but at the same time, I mean, there are moments when, when life is really tough. It's like, all right, okay, universe, I'm done. I've had enough. This doesn't work for me anymore.
Feel that way, right? Right. It's going to happen, right? Yeah.
But it's not like an everyday thing, right? Those are just moments when sometimes people have just like gotten up to here. It's like, I'm done. But in the everyday, it's about experiencing life, learning who you are, learning your relationship with other people, your relationship with this planet, your relationship with source, etc. That's why we're here, right? And so if we can just be okay with that and say, okay, this is why I'm here. This is what I came here to do, is learn about myself and grow, expand, etc. And at the same time, express myself in the world. I am source here in this body expressing itself. So like, let's express, let's see what wants to come through. And that's going to change as we have different experiences, right?
Yeah.
Like before I did the telesummit, I was working in the government. So it was a totally different environment and experience, right? And so once I started doing a telesummit, my whole world changed. It's like everything changed, right? But it's still, things are still changing. Like we're still going through different processes, different experiences, and having new and different desires. And that's what life is about, is having desires, taking action, being connected to source, being connected to ourselves, and just like, yeah, I'm here. Let's go.
Yeah, that's all part of the 3 steps. Yeah. Or the 3, it's like, it's funny. We always have to come up with numbers for everything.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
But we gotta have a way of trying to land with truth, right? So, but yeah, that's all part of it. It's like we feel into our desire, right? But the thing is with that first step, I'm jumping the gun on this maybe, but like the first thing, one of the first ways is to look at it. A lot of people look at their desires, but they're looking at from their limitations though too. Well, I see it in my clients even, some of my clients that come to me, they're powerhouse people, but it's still they're playing on a smaller level, because sometimes at first for sure, because they're still at their limits. Well, I don't know, I guess maybe I'll help around 500 people in this lifetime or something. And it's like, oh my God, it could be so many more, you got a way bigger purpose than that. So it's just like, okay, because people, I think sometimes think it's a lot of pressure. Like, I'm committed to this, I got to hit, I got to do this big thing, and it's going to be too much, and it's going to be stressful, and may never happen. Maybe I'm just a fool, and I'll never could even be those things. And you already are those things. If it's in your soul, you already are those things. You can't escape it. Then all you have to do is to settle into it in a way. And yes, you're going to take action. You're going to take action from that hopefully mostly connected action. But sometimes you got to just get out of your stuff. You may not feel 1,000,000% connected, but it's just like, hey, go here and, get through your fears so that you can feel the connection, right? So the first step really is being fearless and realizing what your true desires are and just owning those, right?
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. It's just, this is what I'm full out. Because I don't think like there is no static place where we're trying to get to individually or collectively. That's the big lie, right? Let me get into my big fulfillment. When people always say you could play bigger, well, I can say that to every single person on the planet. No, anybody. You can play bigger. You're not at your highest level. And yeah, I can do that to everybody, right? So I think it's kind of good to say, but we have to balance that with like, nobody's at their highest level. So it's not meant to be that way, but there's always more, right? And to let that be exciting and like a muse, like, man, I've got more potential and I want to keep stepping into it and to enjoy that rather than, oh, I know I'll get there eventually and the whole world will be safe finally and just freeze frame and we're all good now. And it's not about that. It's about the constant evolution, constantly spiraling upwards. So,
and it's about what feels good to you, so it's like, if my idea, to serve is to help one person at a time, and that's what feels good, cool, then do that, right? But if you feel like you want to do more, then it's like, what's stopping you? Basically you, but it's like, let's so what do you want, right? What do you desire? And I think people have to ask themselves that question all the time on a regular basis. What do you want? Because that's, for me, it looks like, that's when I ask that question, it's like source is asking me, what do you want? Go do it. You have all the capabilities, you have all the power, you have all the talents for whatever it is that you desire truly from your soul. You have everything that you need to have that, right? If you're thinking from your mind and trying to be logical, and it's like, I should do this, I should do that, that's where we get into a bit of a problem. But we're right.
Yeah, that's where some of these, again, it can work out for a certain percentage of people, but yeah, people that want to do business and all that sort of stuff, if I go to the business end of it with their gifts as healers and stuff, which I'm assuming a decent percentage of the people here do that, right? So if you want to do that, you go to the marketers, they say, here, this is what you need to do this, you need to do that. And then where are you? You're in your head usually with those programs. So And then you're like, I don't know, I'm trying to, if I can only get this done, and I can't seem to get it done. Maybe you're not getting it done because it's not your path. Maybe you're learning some things that could be helpful to you ultimately, but it's not bringing you into being you. You have to be you first. You're better off. I mean, again, it could happen in different ways. Honestly, there's only one way, but you're better off trying, focus on being you first, and then let the strategies, the tactics, and ways that it wants to happen to come into you from that place. Otherwise, nothing seems to make sense. It's like, just trying all this stuff and none of it's, landing, or not. I can't seem to get it done, or, all the things that you say, and you just feel like a failure, like you're never getting anywhere. And because you didn't learn more about how to just be yourself first and let it be more natural, like what to do from there.
And flow, for sure.
Yeah.
So there's lots of people who want to have a scan, Daniel. So many people.
Cool. We're going to do that in 1 second. So I just like to be in integrity again. So I just say, gotta be fearless, tap into your desires, right? The next thing, this is just so I feel like we hit the 3 ways, right? The second way is that you just gotta live from that depth and from the fire too. I say for light leader people, because most of you don't have the fire ignited. You're afraid of it. You're like, oh, it burns me. No fire. And holy the namaste. But you got to feel some of that passion, that fire. It's not like, you want to burn through the crap is the point. That's why you want to get into the heat and the fire feeling coming out of the call, right? So I'll keep this brief. But then take the big actions. Don't hold back on big actions. A lot of times we're like, oh, that's too big of an action, or I already tried this before, I did that. You got to take the big actions, whatever big for you. And, in that moment, like whatever, each moment, like, okay, I feel I need to do this. This feels true for me. Don't be like, well, I probably can or shouldn't, or, just do it. Just do it. It will pay off, whether it seems like it's direct or not, doesn't matter. It's paying off. You got to take those steps. I've invested all kinds of money in things that in my mind, I could still say to this day, that didn't pay off, but it totally paid off. It was exactly the right thing. So the next thing is just to keep clearing your energy. So just more of the usual you guys have heard. You got to keep clearing your energy. There's so many ways to do that, but we'll clear a little bit of energy during this call, I'm sure. But we have to keep clearing your energy field. So like with the scanning, I'll be picking up on stuff for you guys and all that. And then those are things that need to be addressed, things that need to be cleared. And if I see your gifts, then those need to be embraced. And then, as you're going through living your inner and outer purpose, like your false beliefs will show up, right? They usually just show up as like the low vibe, right? Fears and sadness, anger, whatever. You may not even know what the belief is. So you have to slow down, get present with the feeling, and be like, what belief do I have that's creating this feeling right now? Yeah. And then the minute you identify that belief, sometimes that's enough to make it go away. Like it's
Absolutely.
like, this belief. Well, is it really true? Like the whole thing, Byron Katie, right? I know.
Absolutely.
Like, is it absolutely true? Can I know this is a true thing? No, it's not. It's always going to be no. So it's like, okay, even right there, you can be so much freer. And there's all kinds of ways to deal with belief work or get deep energy clearing, etc. So, but you need to clear it one way or another. We'll talk maybe more about the how as we go along here, but so those are the 3 is like, the 3 ways. It's like, just to give people more of an idea. And I've heard this from countless teachers ultimately, like I just came up with this, but like there's countless teachers that say basically the same thing again and again. You got to trust, you got to be bold, fearless, go with your desires. You got to, like me, I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter. Like I'm not getting clients and everybody wants my money. Everybody says they're going to take everything away from me and I can't feed my family. That doesn't matter. What matters is source is going to provide when I finally start being myself. So no matter how bad it got, no matter what happened, I would not stop. I would not stop until I started having success. Then I did, and so that's the key. And then to just know that when you go first, you're willing to be bold. Sometimes you have to go first, then the angels sing, right? You got to be bold and go first. Yeah. But, I'm tentative. Maybe I'm getting guidance to this. Maybe I'm not. Oh, I guess it's a no, right? Yeah, because it feels better. No, like you kind of feel it's a yes. You know, if you're bold, it's a yes. Then do it. You know, I can't
Exactly.
overemphasize that piece alone. That will totally transform all the crap you've been dealing with up till now. Like it will start to, at least, you know,
I
start
totally
clearing
agree.
up huge chunks of crap.
Yeah,
So
I
anyway,
totally agree. The first
well,
the first step you take, it's going to change so much.
yes,
But we're always waiting for a sign. We're waiting for
right,
God to tell us, yes, this is the thing to do. But it's
right.
really it comes from within us. You know, am I called to do this? Yes, take a step, and then you'll receive more guidance. You'll receive more support. You'll receive more insights and awarenesses. You got to take that first step. I
Mm.
totally agree. I'm all about that for sure.
So I know that you said there's a lot of people wanting scans, which I would expect. So you probably want to do that next, I would imagine, but it's up to you.
Sure. Yes. Let's take a few people with some people have their hands raised and some people have written in the chat. So can you work with people in the chat as well, Daniel?
Sure. Yeah. Well, however wants to come through. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So
whatever you wanna do it.
we're gonna start with Linda.
Okay.
Linda, you want to unmute yourself, Linda?
Hi, Daniel. I
Hello.
would
Hi,
love
Linda.
I'd love an energy scan. And I have like a lot of modalities. I just don't know which one to focus on.
Okay.
That would be the best one for me anyway.
I'm going to be very nice today. I'm not going to say anything.
I love you.
Well, I got this. Okay, I got a lot to say, but I'm going to pull back right now.
I'm going to be very nice today. I'm going to not say anything.
Good, good.
Okay. All right, Lynn, let me tune in to you. See, always when I tune in, the primary is purpose, gifts, any blocks, I see things like that. So let's go ahead and spend a few short while doing that. So let me go ahead and tune in here. Okay, so they show like this openness you have. Like I often start with like the crown and the aura and all that. So at the top, like you have that openness. You're like, oh, the light, like, oh, it's being the light, you know. So you got like that really great. You know, you got the connection with angels, maybe a little fairy energy thrown in there. You love the earth, you know, give earth a hug all day. You've got all that, right? Earth Mama, all this beautiful energy. It's like, come on, everybody, just love each other. It all works. Come on, you know, just from love, from love, from love. So you got that going really well. Like, you know, that's so beautiful. It's such like that alone. See, like the people, like I'm speaking to everybody, like people take for granted like a gift I just shared about Linda. Like, oh, well, okay, that's who I am, whatever. Like that's a massive titanic gift, you know, that love, that because you have it in a way that other people just don't. And you could bring people into more of that frequency, just like Eckhart brings us more into his frequency and what he teaches us about getting into presence and awakening and now and all that. Like you bring it in your gift. So your gift is, hey, everything works when we love each other, we love the planet, we're connected with source, everything works. It's from the connection and the love, and you know, everything works, and you're just so clear, you're just so damn clear on that part, right? So it's like, you know this. So this is like this alone, this transmission you bringing to people is huge. So when you say something like, well, I don't know what modality to use, like the modality to use, like you're meant to lead people into this depth. And how do you do that? I think, you know, my sense of you is more that you're a spiritual leader. You're a teacher, you know, you're a teacher of maybe meditation and things like this, and connect with your angels and the earth and, you know, the plant life and, you know, like how it's speaking to you and all this. So you're a teacher, you're a guide, and yes, you can do healing. It's not one modality. It's like it's doing healing your own way, utilizing at the same time probably all these different modalities to the degree that you're guided. You know, I always say the best type of healing, in my opinion, for most of us is just totally guided healing. Like, oh wow, yeah, here are some techniques I learned. I'll use this in this case, right? So just more guided healing. And then as far as the issues you have otherwise, like in the energy system, let me take a look. Like, because one is visibility. Like I just see like they're putting a bag over your like there's a bag like over your energy system, your aura, and even like like your aura and stuff. So it's just like this heaviness, like protection. You know, again, it's protection. So it's like, well, if like, because you bring a big presence and you're willing to bring it in certain times and spaces and places, and you will show up big, in a way, in your energy. But when it comes to the wide world, you're like, staying home, so it's like, no, whole wide world wants to experience this. They want, and you need to be in leadership energy rather than perpetual student, perpetual supporter, because I'm supporting this. I'm a leader in my own way. I'm supporting Alara and all these speakers and everything. And that's beautiful, but like, you need to lead the way. You need to lead the way. You need to have support for you and then you lead the way, right? So just call that in, be willing to bring that in. And Jesus, Archangel Michael here, the strength, there's strength in the feminine, but also we want to talk, we neglect the divine masculine sometimes. So it's like, no, remember that strength, you've got the healing energy of Jesus within you. You've got the strength of Archangel Michael wanting to ground through you, but you're like, I don't know. So this is all part of what's going on for you. And you just have so much information to share, so much love to share. You definitely don't need to know more, as much as you need to just start broadcasting, like like a broadcasting system, like going on inside you. And so you can do mediumship healing. You can do, you're so gifted and talented with being able to tune in and work with people's energies. You're such a strong empath. And but what eats away at you is like injustice. What eats away at you is the sense of lack of love, a sense of maybe you feeling like you got cut off early in your life. And I see hands being cut off, past life. I see the feeling of you don't want to step out too far, otherwise you might leave other people behind. Like if I come out way up in the front, other people might feel like, oh, where are you? You're not there for me anymore. Like, so you got to step out of that, let go of that. So that's all part of it. Like I see in your, particularly the power, like the lower power center is showing up for me with you. The root chakra, it's just got this conflict. Like, I don't know, I want to go higher in the energies, but I got some bottom line stuff. I got to really get deep and do some deep stuff here, deep work on myself. And it's like a confusion. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure which direction to go. And it's like, it's just really claiming your power and your truth, realizing if you're supported to do your highest work. So I know I probably should stop there. Otherwise I'll go the rest of the time together.
Thank you.
So,
thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it, Daniel. Thank you again, Alara, as always.
Yeah, that was awesome. I thought that was awesome.
It was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
Thank you
good.
both.
Awesome. Thank you, Linda.
There's always so much more, but we only have so much time on these calls.
Exactly. But yeah, that was a lot of information for Linda. I love it. Manisha, you want to unmute yourself?
Yes. Hello, Lara. Hi, Daniel.
Hi.
I'd love an energy scan as well to discover my sacred purpose as well, please. Thank you.
Okay, let's see what comes through.
Thank you.
So I'm getting magic and getting, a witch energy again. The good witch. Of course, it's a good witch. So you've got so much magic, but so the sense of it is, it's almost like you've got all these blessings to give to others, but you're like, well, I don't know. It's like because of betrayal and hurts. It's almost like, well, I don't know. You kind of hurt my feelings, so you don't get it, And in fact, you think you have problems with me. Fine, I'll turn this magic on me. And so maybe you've had, I don't know if you've had physical stuff or it's primarily emotional. I'm not certain on that right in this moment, but it's like you turn the energy rather than flowing it out fully. I'm not saying you don't do that, but like it's like you're turning it more like back on yourself to a degree, like in an inverse, in a negative, not in a positive. So, and it's a like it's a shaming thing. Like, well, fine, then I'll just I'll just shut this thing down, shut myself down, and this sort of thing. And so it's resentment. It's yeah. So let's take a look at that some more. Do something here. So this would lead you, well, let's talk about what it leads to. It leads to you feeling like, okay, I need to calculate things better. I need a better plan. I'll figure this out, like it's like Chutes and Ladders or something. Like I could take 3 steps forward, 4 steps back. Then I eventually maybe I'll get there. When you're so magical, you could be already at the top, so to speak, like you're so magical, like your natural magic can just take you to the top. It's possible that, maybe this, I'm leery of projection sometimes within myself. So I'll just say, like, it's possible you're like me, and that sometimes at an energetic level, things can be so easy for me that maybe I pull some of it back, because I'm like, well, man, if I'm doing this and other people aren't, isn't that like criminal? Like I'm like way advanced. So if you're playing that game, it's just like we're both going to make a pact today, right? Let's not do that anymore. Like if I'm doing that, if you're doing that, everybody's doing that, like, no, go to the top of the class, so to speak, right? Because you'll find yourself in another class where, like you're leading the way, you're helping others to come up, but you might also find like you're in a new community where you're like with your peers, and maybe other people inspire you to go even higher, right? So because what you think is like unbelievable and magical, it is in a way, but then again, there's so much more, right? So, but this resentment needs to be dealt with. Okay, fears, resentment, anger. Okay, let's look at that. I see on the left side going down. Okay, it's almost like a paralyzation energy, I feel like from the, so it could be like possible stroke, this kind of energy going down this left side. Just is the vibe I get. It may not be what happened, but anyway, so so yeah, it's so let's see what's the perceptions. Let's work with lifetimes, what it goes to. Okay. It's not about putting women down. Like eventually they just put the boot right on you, like the suppression from women going way back in the lifetimes. So if you rise up, like eventually there's like this, like put the boot right on you. Okay. All right. So okay. Yeah. Okay. What's the core of that though? Okay. Let's see. Core of resentment about that, powerlessness. Okay. Just like this, ultimately it's like people don't value and see me sort of vibe. Okay, so in always when we say, we're saying that even subconsciously to ourselves, like then we're not seeing it. We're not seeing ourselves that way. Okay, so and then like, okay, the desire to serve people and be magical. Could it run out? Could people take it away from me? Could things be taken away from me? Okay, now the answer is no, right? Because as we awaken, we realize really can't be taken away. This cannot be taken away. Okay. But the false belief used to be, maybe it can be taken away. Maybe I could be manipulated. Maybe I could be let off a bridge. These could like, yeah, oh, I'm so excited. Let's do it. Oh, yeah. And all of a sudden they point you like off of a cliff, right? So it's like, okay, screw you all, taking all my marbles, going back in the box. It may not suck, but at least you won't be able to mess with me now. So okay, so let's tune into one last thing and then we'll move on. 1 or 2 more things. Okay. Just remember, there's a soul tribe of women out there that have had all kinds of physical conditions, all kinds of trials and tribulations that they've turned back against themselves because they feel they weren't valued as women, and it's who they are. And there's a lot of empowerment you can bring to yourself and specific women that have these kind of issues. So that's a possible path for you for sure. Part of your sacred purpose is to help unleash the power, the magic, the mysticism within that divine feminine energy, knowing that it can't be ever squashed. Okay, so I could go on and on. I'll just leave it there though and see what comments we get.
Thank you very much. And
Yeah.
just to conclude, yes, my life purpose or my dream is empowerment of women, which Alara knows. So you were spot on. Thank you very much.
Okay, all right, sure thing. Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you, Manisha. And yes, a lot of the other belief work and the traumas, I think they also deeply resonated with Manisha as well, I think. So yeah, even that was spot on as well. So it's like, wow. I was like impressed, like, wow, he's really tapping in accurately, so accurately. So awesome. Thank you. All right, we're gonna go to Grace Kelly. Grace Kelly would love an energy scan. She to discover her sacred purpose and gifts.
Okay. All right, I see Grace here. So hi, Grace. All right, we'll go ahead and do it, and then we'll see if we can get some feedback from you. I love these things I get like mystical accountant. Like you're like, oh, like you're mystical, but you like to get into like concretizing it. Like, oh, look at, it's like this. Like you can concretely point things out to people. So you could be a good like you could be good at, I don't know if it's your thing for sure now, but you could be good at like with things like numerology, astrology, like things like this might sort of interest you or something along these lines, because you're things where you can tap in human design, all this sort of thing. You're tapping in, and that, but let's make it practical. Let's get it concrete, like that, and then when we, and then in a systematic way, if you can work with somebody to achieve a certain level of actualization and results in their life, oh my God, you're just like, oh, that's one of my favorites for sure. And so I see all this for you and your purpose. Let's see what's more things. They're wanting me to be really clear with you about your healing gifts. So whenever I get like I got my hands up, but like I see with you, they're like, okay, you need to stop holding back on the healing power you have, because you've got a healing power that your healing power, again, it's, we're all kind of, we're all a little different in our healing power in a way. So for you, you're bringing people into wholeness, into integration, that sort of thing. But you've got to bring the healing energy more directly, more fully. And so that's the encouragement, to be willing to channel that light, to channel the light, to let the angels speak through you more, or, your guides or what have you, source. Let it speak through you. Just not that you don't already, but again, relax more, speak into it more, bring more healing energy. My sense of you is that you're trying to show up a little more on the, yeah, you're okay with the showing some woo, but like whatever level you're at with that, but like you're holding some back, right? Like, okay, better not get too crazy here. So like I'm getting like an encouragement to go further. Let's see what else is going on. Let's look through the energy system. Okay, good. Yeah. The two that I'm drawn to right away is the throat and the root. Seems to be a theme today. Those two have come up before. Okay, usually come up in these crowds. The throat, you're not willing to ask for what you want enough. You need to be direct. So don't imagine people are going to figure it out. Well, I thought they'd figure it out. Oh well. Don't know. You gotta be direct. Like this is exactly like what I expect. This is exactly what I'm looking for, and the people will respond. The people that are meant to be in your life will be like, of course, yes, of course, that's great. I love you being direct with me. Otherwise, you're doing people a disservice. They're guessing too much. Now, I'm not saying you haven't got better with this pattern, but there's just saying more, especially with like boundaries, money, things like this. Root chakra. So you've got that practical grounding. Yeah, some of you definitely want to connect, more with the light. So there's a yearning to drop in and ground more of your light being. because that part is not grounded, it's not embodied in the way that you would like to fulfill your deeper purpose. So it's just bringing more of that in. So yeah, I mean, you're good at getting focused, getting right into things. You want to bring incredible care to people. What's the wound? Let's see some more on the wounds, because they're just showing me a lot of good things, and then we just want to see where some more of the wounds. Yeah, so we got it there. Anything else? One more thing. It's not about surprises. I see the carpet being pulled out from under you. So you'll think like you've got it all together, like in your life, and then tragedy or something comes in, and it seems to be a repeating theme for you. Like, wow, I thought things were going this way, and then I just totally was surprised. And so the issue there could be that you never know when you're on any firm ground. So that keeps you guessing all the time. Okay, so the message though, to tell you, to empower you more with that, is just that it's all about just continuing to realize source has you no matter what. You know, those things that happen were things that needed to be slipped away, so you can wake up to more of who you really are, and then to ground and land and embody that, to make it brief. Okay, so all right, so I'll leave it there. Love to hear any if there is any feedback, Grace Kelly. Yeah, always love to
Yeah.
share.
You know, one thing I noticed, Daniel, is that, you know, when you're doing these scans, your eyes are closed, so you can't see the person nodding.
Oh, I can see the confirmation. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm sorry, my partner's watching football, so I'll make it quick. Yes, I thought the tragedy things is that people, you know, sort of pass away, and it's sort of you know, like good friends, and the dealing with that. But in the healing, I'm kind of a bit like Linda. I've done lots of different things, Reiki, I've done Dolores Cannon's past life hypnosis, I've done Psyche, but it's like finding the thing that you're really passionate about, you know, that's really grabbing you, that you want to make your life purpose. It's just, I'm very interested in them at the time, and I was really, I mean, I did lots of Dolores Cannon's work with different people, and then I thought, well, yeah, but we're going into the past. And I've kind of changed around the last 6 months, thinking, no, I want to be going, like you said at the beginning, helping people to focus and create something they want, rather than going back into past lives and into the past.
Yeah. Yeah, you do better to focus people on, you know, really getting in the state where they understand, like, okay, this is what I want, like really from my enlightened center. And then you have the tools and the ways to help them to get aligned with that and to wake up to who they are in your way. And it's yours is mystical, but it's very practical too. So you've got both of those together.
Thank you.
Awesome. Good. Thank you, Grace.
Thank you, Alara.
You're welcome. That was awesome. I just love how, you know, spot on Daniel is, and he's not getting the confirmation during the actual reading, you know.
Just keep going. Yeah.
Keeps on going. Whereas I'm watching the people, like I watched Linda, I watched Manisha, I'm watching Grace because she's, you know, on the screen, and I can see the confirmation, right? And of course, Linda and Manisha I know pretty well, so I know a lot of the stuff. But it's like, you had no idea. You don't know these people. I'm assuming, right?
I know these people I've met before. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's so awesome. All right, we're gonna take one more quick one.
Okay.
I say quick. I think the next person on the list was Angela in the chat.
Okay.
Angela in the chat would love a scan.
Okay, just is there more? I just want to make sure, because it's possible I'll go to the wrong person.
There's only one Angela.
Okay, there is only one Angela here. Okay, just want to make sure, because when there's a few people here, you know, I want to make sure. Okay, so all right, Angela in the chat. Okay. Yeah, I tell people I don't need their name, because I've even seen people as an X, you know, they put an X and I still read them accurate. I just have to get focused for a minute here, because there is a group. Okay, so Not sure. No, she'll tell us eventually, but like I get something with tarot and reading and all this sort of stuff. Okay, let's see. Just get you're really observant and curious, and like you're really smart, it's kind of, yeah, like I get this smartness about you. And okay, that's fun to look at. Okay. Okay, so they're showing like the Akashic records. You're like the librarian for the Akashic records, and like your tarot and stuff. So you just love getting the messages. Like, okay, here's how it is. And so you would be good at consulting with people, like on their life, and maybe trying to figure out some puzzles. And they're like, well, let's see, let's look at the cards, let's look at the records, let's look at this, let's look at that. And you're like, oh, I know, you love the discovery process of like what's really going on and where things want to go. So that's what's they're showing me. Okay, let's see. Let's read your energy some more. There. I get too caught up. Yeah, this could be true for some of the rest of you, but like things that come to me with you are there's a heaviness in the crown, even though there's some openness there in the crown, pressing in the middle there of the crown, going into your brain. It's okay. So you're kind of maybe put down and made less than maybe growing up, perhaps. Like I get that kind of feeling, like yeah, because you are powerful in knowing things and be able to predict things yourself. So it's like, and you're like, you've got good ideas, like, hey, let's go do this. And like, there's this like putting you in your place kind of vibe I'm getting from a young age. So to the point where even though you're so talented, it's like a less than thing. You're less than, you're not good enough. So so it could be, even though you're really smart, like maybe there's certain words, possibly, okay, this is what comes to me, but there's some things maybe you weren't catching on in life or in school, where it's like it was maybe easy for other people and it wasn't easy for you. And then it's like, oh, we see you're less than, see, you're actually less than, but you're actually like, you got these really great talents, and you're smart in a way that's, deep intelligence, a deeper intelligence, so intuitive, etc. So let's see what else is going on. I just keep hearing your mystic wide-eyed wonder, like you're like, oh my god, this is so amazing. So so you're good there. Now they'll go down these, okay, lower chakra. Yeah, it's the unworthiness programs seem pretty strong. I kind of wonder, like, if you've had issues being able to nourish yourself at times. I get kind of a throwing up energy coming in. I'm not sure what that is without more time, but it just of heaviness, like, oh, like everything, just like, yeah, hard to digest, like so many trauma, like just trauma. But hold on. Yeah, like people messing with you again and again, and just how much more can you stomach, like that kind of thing. I can't stomach much more. But yeah, you keep being perky at another level. You want to help people at this point in your life anyway. You're like wide-eyed wonder, man, everything's possible. Let's see what else is possible. So you've got some stability in that root chakra. That's pretty cool. It's got that fun and it's got some stability. But this worthiness thing is big. And then you want to play big, but you keep it, you've expanded with that, playing with the play energy. But there's some blocks there, there's some walls, like the creative impulse, don't want to show it too much, the visibility thing. So, because that's where you could be squashed again. So hopefully something I'm saying is helpful to you. I just, it's kind of just fun just to tune into you and share with you. We'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely. That was wonderful, Daniel. Angela, how was that for you? Let us know. You can type in the chat to let us know how that was for you, how you resonated with a lot of the stuff that Daniel shared. It's just so interesting, the quality of the information, right? The essence of the information, and basically, so it feels like you're really tapping into who they are, who the person is.
Yeah, I mean, like she could do great, like just like she could be a deep advisor for the right people if she wants. I don't know if she's in business doing this for sure or not. And then she can do quick readings, like she's really quick in figuring some things out. So yeah, I always put on the business brain always comes back on for me. I'm like, wait a minute, what about the money? Let's look at that too. And so yeah.
I mean, there's so much potential with a lot of our community. There's so much potential for them to grow and shine and share their gifts and just be themselves, right? And so sometimes having that confirmation and validation from somebody else, it's going to help them to take that next step, take that first step sometimes even. So that was awesome. I thought there was a lot of information coming through. So Daniel, I know we still have a lot of other stuff to do, and if we have time, we can take a few more later. But I want to take a moment and just talk about the special offer packages. The special offers that you're offering for us today that you brought to us, it's like unbelievable. There's just so much here that you're sharing and that you're bringing. I'm like dumbfounded. It's like I don't even know what to say. So Angela said, I resonated. The outlook on how I see life is spot on. The unworthiness comes from far, and the browbeating by so many is definitely a daily occurrence. Good, awesome. So,
well, awesome on the accuracy. We wanted to see an end to that pattern for you at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to share my screen in just a second, but oh my goodness, it's like the amount of workshops, etc., recordings, training that you're offering is just unbelievable. This will really help a lot of people for sure. Daniel 11. So alara.at/show/Daniel 11. Yes, here we go. Thank goodness it's
11. That's my favorite number. We didn't even plan that.
No, we didn't. All right, I'm going to share my screen quickly. All right, so I don't even know how you're going to share everything. Like talk about everything, Daniel, because there's so much. But there's two packages, package A and B, and I think in package A there's 8 or 9 different programs, recordings, MP3s, and then in package B, it's everything in package A plus a 30-minute money and purpose energy scan and a 30-minute session of channeled prayer. So today, Daniel did just a short, really 5 minutes, not even maybe, of the money and purpose energy scan. So it's in the package B, it's way more. So like I said, the value of these packages is unbelievable. If you were to buy these from Daniel's websites, you'd be paying over $3,500 for package A and over $4,200 for package B. And if you look here, you can get package A for $197 and package B for $397. So there's a huge savings. I'm so grateful for that, Daniel.
Yeah, and the package B would even be more than that actually, but it's okay. I mean, yeah, it still denotes that there's a huge value. Yeah,
there's a huge value, absolutely. So let's just, we'll just talk about a few of them, and everybody can always go back and take a look at the special offer page to go through more details. But there's like so much here. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, there is so much. I mean, one of the things we start you off with is that meditate and make money workshop, and once you learn that you actually can just spend, time, that's one of the biggest ways I've grown my business. It's not one thing, right? It's a combination of things, right? But the meditation foundation is the part of really waking up on the inner, but also allows your energy to get aligned so that the outer becomes very, very simplified, clear, and automatic. Like in other words, like you're like, I can do that. I'm ready to take a step on that. I'm ready to take those steps. I'm ready to do that thing that seems so scary, like a scary monster. I could never, take these steps. Like by doing the meditate, make money way, like all of a sudden it's not so scary anymore. It's like, yeah, I can do that. I can launch my website or do this package or serve these type of people or whatever it is. So is it a recording? Yeah, now that is a recording. It's not a live workshop. So we do want to make sure they know that. So, but you go through it and it will give you that, that support. And people that follow my instructions with this stuff, they do start seeing like, man, this is deep. I'm deepening, and I'm also making more money. Is the feedback I get.
Yeah, awesome. And then, like I said, there's just so much. This is a 1-year self-study membership, and again, this is also included.
Yeah, and now this is, again, this is a recording. This isn't live calls, but within it is other than like, this is like the foundational things. This isn't the money is so much, although it does connect with money too. But this is like all the foundational things that you need to know about how to rock your purpose overall. Like just like, man, just how to work with your energy and what you need to know about tuning in and your purpose and all that sort of stuff. So so they were recorded as live groups. So you'll see like how I work other people through things. There's channeling in here, like channeled voice channeling in here as well. So all those things are there to help raise you up.
Awesome. And then there's the energy scan training, which you were just doing on the call today with everybody.
Now this is kind of like the gem, the biggest, maybe the biggest jewel of them all. Like literally people have paid $9.97 for this alone. Like you cannot ever, you'll never, maybe, who knows, but like you probably never find this energy scan training available in a package like this at this price ever again. Like, maybe unless I come back with a Laura or something. Even then I was already thinking, I'll probably have to raise it the next time. So
yeah, absolutely.
Probably never would see it again. Because like I said, I easily can sell this for $9.97 and have many times. So, so this allows you to be able to do what I do. Like this allows you to be able to do what I can do. Now, if you have a feeling intuition at all, like I promise you, if you apply yourself with this program, you'll be able to do it. Now, this program, like again, it's all recordings, but I am available to people to a degree. Like if you reach out to me, like, hey, I've got a question about this program, I'm going to be available for you. So you're going to dial in those gifts and you're going to be able to go out and provide people with energy scans. And to build your practice, you need to know like what you're tuning into. What are we working with people? What needs to be addressed to be able to develop those abilities? Deepens your awakening, deepens your intuitive abilities on every level of your life. It also allows you to be able to tap into the psychic realm too. Like you know things now, you know what's coming next, right? So all those things, and it also trains you on how to get new clients too. So that brings in the money path, like how to get those clients that you're looking for, because you offer an energy scan and say, hey, we can clear that through whatever healing modalities you have. But I also train you on my channeled prayer modality as well and more in this program. So it's a big wow factor when you could do this, as you've seen like me do it. You see everybody, all the hands going up, right? Everybody's like, I want to scan, right? So it's a showstopper ability that you can develop yourself. And as long as you already have, connection with intuition, you're feeling intuition, then I can promise you that it's worked for every, person that's taken that, which is hundreds and hundreds of people.
Yeah. I remember when I took it, I did some case studies and so on, and it was amazing. It's like, and it was so much fun to do. It was like so I was also able to do it. So so definitely, it's definitely a great tool, a great talent, a great gift, a great modality to learn. I highly recommend this. I'm surprised that how easy it was. It was fairly easy, and so I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, it is. It is easy.
Yeah. And so then here there's the, a little bit about the modules, but we can all read that on our own. So there's,
Mhm.
and bonuses as well. And then there's the Clear Your Own Energy program as well.
Yeah. Of course, it's got great teachings on how to, like when I said earlier, like I got into like I can dial in anything. Well, this is the program that helps you to do that. Like it helps you to stand in your power to command the things that you truly want. Now, I always say, like, yeah, you're just trying to command winning the lotto or something. Your soul may not care about that. You might get lucky, you tip it off, and then you learn like that wasn't what you really wanted. Like unlucky maybe then, but like it's got to be a true desire. So I help you to tune in those true desires, get aligned with them by utilizing what I teach about clearing your own energy, because you're all empathic. So if you're carrying around all these energies of other people and all the wounds and blocks you've got, has you carrying around other people's energies too, by the way, we clear through those things, and then you're clearer, and then you're more available to be able to manifest exactly what you want. And that's what this program helps you with. So yeah, especially empaths have told me that this has been like very seriously a huge support in their life, like really changed their life in terms of being able to just be clear with what they want to manifest, and let it happen.
Yeah, and energy maintenance, clearing our own energy, being comfortable with our energy as empaths especially is huge. It's huge. So we would definitely need that. And then after that, oh my goodness, then there's the Energy Flow Master Program.
This is another jewel, really. I mean, I've had people so in love with this course. They're like, oh my God, I'm going to get behind it. I'm going to help you bring it out to the whole world and stuff. Because what's really cool about this program is, would you like to be able to telepathically communicate to people? Would you like to be able to I don't know, like command the wind, would you like to be able to move objects, things like that? Like, would you like to decide you want something and see it happen in a short period of time when you have no freaking idea how in the world it ever could work? Well, you can learn how to do that as easy as breathing, I say, through this program. Like, it's possible, it's available. Now, if you're going to be really, you're going to really fight this thing, I can't guarantee it'll work every single time for every single person. But the people I brought through this course, again, these are all recorded. But if you actually just go through the course and listen to it basically the same way everybody else was listening to it, you're going to be able to achieve the things you want. We ask you, like, what do you want? You set your attention on that as we do the work, and we give you techniques to use. And as you use those techniques, and as you clear, open, align your chakras, as it's saying there, we work on all this stuff. Like, you're like magic. You can command things to happen that are, even beyond the other programs, the other program I talked about, because we're letting it even be more simple and easier in this program. Like, it even gets deeper and easier with this program. So
Awesome.
yeah, you'll just be like, it may end up being like your favorite course of all time, like some people have told me.
Yeah, it looks like a powerful course. And then we have a few littler ones, Total Healing for Money, and I know a lot of us also require that, right?
Yes. So that one of the things, you keep clearing those money blocks every day, you're going to see more good in your life. Absolutely. And then the other one's just is just a great another great support and bonus. All my meditations are, people are like, oh, if I could just keep you in my ear all day, I'd be fine. So you definitely want to listen to my meditations. People love them. The Dancing with Your Future Ideal Self, like I don't know, like what my thing is in the world, everything. This will help reveal it. Like, it drops you into that energy, helps you merge with that future ideal self and integrate it into your energy. And people get so excited when they get into this, and it starts bringing it all into you, right? All that energy. That's the point of that whole thing. So it's really, really good.
And the last one is
everyone, like, they're all like my children, like they're all good. So like, just say it to you, I mean, again, like, what did I say? You have to just be you, right? So that's what this program supports. It's okay, like even the 30 days, like I have a 30 days in the Clear Your Own Energy program too. And I did another 30 days of channel prayer, 30 days of channel prayer And, we do a yes practice in there. You're like, yes, yes, yes. You build the yes, and we take you in a channel prayer process that, even when people had some technical issues, like when they got this package, bought it outright from me, they're like, I'm like, oh man, it's getting so hard. Like, I'm so sorry. I'll just give you a refund. They're like, no, you fixed the damn thing. I want these clearings, because they had gotten some of them live. They're like, give me the damn clearings. I just really need them. So this stuff is really powerful stuff. And so once you get into it, like, people just keep listening to my channel prayers once they start getting into it. So it really helps you get in the energy you want, and helps open up more, right? So it's just, that's what it's all about. And you get a whole training too that was very powerful as well, helping people get clearer in their energy. And again, it's all, for me, it's all about getting your energy clear and letting everything just come into you from that place. So again, it's another one to help you with that. And again, with all these things put together, you see the value and everything. And the big thing is like, even if one or two of these things speak to you, again, most of them anyway, I mean, some of the MP3s, no, but a lot of them, like, if you were to try to just buy them directly from me, they're going to be more than that anyway, right? So
yep, absolutely.
it's not like you have to do everything. We put a package together in part, as you probably hear all the time anyway, but like, because maybe only like one or two things speak to you the most, then just start there and use your intuition. You don't need to get overwhelmed. Just the energy scan training program is a steal of a deal, and one that is ridiculous. It really is. It's totally ridiculous. So you definitely want to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I agree totally. I mean, $197 for all these different programs is a steal. It's truly a steal. Oh my goodness. I'm just like, I'm so jealous of you guys. I gotta say.
Yeah, she's like, I didn't pay that for that.
I think I paid $797 for my energy scan training. I think that
there
was
you go. It's the real deal, right? So yeah, now you know.
And then package B, you get everything in package A, plus the 30-minute money and purpose energy scan and the 30 minutes of channeled prayer. So do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because we haven't talked a lot about the channeled prayer.
Yeah, the channel prayer is, so with the tuning in, it's like, okay, I can see all these things with you. With channel prayer, I'm not only tuning in, but I'm using my ability to be strong in energy and command energy and realign energy and work with energy to bring in what it is that you want. And I always say it works whether people think it did at first or not. Some people are like, oh my God, that totally, I've totally manifested something. Sometimes they just feel better. But, like I've had people with very stubborn issues. They're like, they can't sleep or something properly at night or whatever. Oh yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe it's getting a little bit better. Then like a month or two later, like, man, I'm sleep's getting a lot better, and they forgot all about like even the session that we did together. I always like, because I don't even bring it up at the time. It's like, well, I laughed to myself. I'm like, yep, I bet it's been getting better, because I'm so clear in these clearings that it's just like, I'm like, no matter what, this is coming into fruition, whatever it is that we're focused on. And of course, it's a two-way street. You guys have to be open enough, but people have said like, no one prays the way Daniel does. Like, they're very powerful sessions. Yeah.
Awesome. Beautiful. I love it. And so you get two of these. One is the 30-minute money and purpose energy scan, and then the 30 minutes of channel prayer on top of everything in package A. So that, again, I said the value is over $4,200, but it's way, way more than that, but you get it for $397. So it's definitely, again, another steal. And it's something that you really want to really tap into your heart, tap into your knowing, tap into who you are, and ask yourself, like, is this the time? Can I work with Daniel now? I think just seeing Daniel today on the show, hearing his wonderful energy, seeing and hearing how accurate he is with the energy scans. I mean, there's a lot going on with Daniel. So, if you can, I would definitely get package B. So then again, package A, I have it at the bottom here. Package A, with all those different programs, is $197, and package B includes everything in package A plus the personal sessions with Daniel is $397. And so both of these packages are available at alara.at/show/Daniel11. So please do take advantage of these deals, because they will not be offered again, that's for sure. I know they were like, oh my goodness, that was like amazing. All right, so Daniel, I know that there's still more that we wanted to do.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. I just want to say one last thing on what we just shared. Like, I just want people to know, like, consistently, like with the energy flow mastery and things like that. Like, people are like you think I'm crazy. Like maybe you don't realize, but like people literally can do things like I said. Like they can when I'll be with my students in person, I'll be like, all right, who wants to like play around and like pick up the wind right now? And so I'll do it. All right. Also, there's a big wish of wind that comes in or something. And like I use the same principles. Not necessarily always because I'm so attuned to it, like it's unconsciously competent now. Like I could walk in a restaurant, they're like, okay, like you want steak and lobster, right? Like I'm kind of making up a story, but it's like that. Like I'll literally order like one item and they bring me like that plus the other item I want. Like it just happened like recently. I got some pizza. Yeah, I do eat pizza sometimes. Oh my God. But like I eat pizza, I ordered 3 slices and people always screw up my orders because I'm thinking in my mind, I want an extra slice, but for some reason I likely you just to gift it to me. And I'm not trying to make it happen, but it's just clear in my deeper mind. And then they just hand me exactly what I want. But you can use this in all kinds of ways, not just to get what you want, which is fun, but also to bring blessings in other people's lives or do whatever you want. But like once you have these capacities, like, it deepens your awakening, but also you could manifest really cool stuff. Like, and especially in this day and age, I don't know if anybody gets concerned about like the police state kind of fears and worries. You worry about that stuff. Guess what? Once you get in the energy that I teach, then and you stay awake, within the dream here, of course, you got to use the principles.
Mhm.
They can't touch you. I've had people try to shake me down in different ways and stuff. I turn on this energy and things don't work. Like I remember an amusement park I was going into, they're like, everybody gets fingerprinted. You have to do the sensor. I'm like, nope, not me. They could not make that thing work for anything. Like, this is very weird. They just let you in, like I could tell more stories, but yeah, people just manifesting things. They have no money or like, I want this fancy, Harley bike or something. And in a few weeks they've got it because they just use the principles. I tell them exactly how they can let it be so easy, so simple. So anyway,
and so it's about recognizing that life doesn't have to be the way it has always been. There's something else is possible for them.
yeah, totally. And the more you play with it and you could combine it to things that are more, they say you start with easy things and go up. To me, the easy stuff is like commanding things of nature. Actually, that's the easier stuff. When we get into like, oh my God, I want to make tons of more money. Then we combine these principles into there. Just imagine what's possible then, right? So
yeah. Absolutely. Wow. And that's the thing. All of this that Daniel's talking about is available in these trainings in package A, and then of course working with Daniel in package B as well. So it's all there for you. It's all available.
A lot. I know it's a lot. Yeah.
It's a lot, and at such a low price.
Right,
it's like, oh my
right.
goodness. So I would get, if I didn't already have the energy scan training program, I would get it. It's like 197 for all of that. Yeah. I'll do it.
Yeah.
So again, alara.at/show/Daniel11. All right, Daniel, what's next? I know we have we're a little over time, but that's okay.
Oh, okay. The only other thing I could think of that we talked about is doing a little voice channeling, I think, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, always, yeah, I can do some voice channeling for the group and see what comes through. Do we have any particular time frame, just so I have a clue?
Oh, just I have another call in 15 minutes.
Okay, all right, that's good to know. All right, okay, so we're gonna do a little voice channeling. If we need to stop at some point, just say, hey, we need to wrap it up. Like, just let me know, because I otherwise I'll lose track of time potentially. Okay.
All right. Well, I can be late for the other one, so it's not a big deal. So I'm not facilitating, so it's okay.
Okay.
So go for it.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and get in. I'm going to do a little vocal toning to kind of just deepen into the vibe, and then I'll get started. And so I'll just channel source, and then any guides or whatever comes through, we'll have fun with it. Yeah, we'll go from there, see what wants to happen. Okay. Ah. Starts with a simple message. Welcome to the show of life. It's time to celebrate the beauty that is your life. Look at the stars at night. See that vastness, the vastness that you are beyond all comprehension. The stars are aligned for your beautiful gifts in the world. The time of seeming crisis will soon come to pass for those that are prepared. Prepare yourself to move through the great illusion. The lies, the deceit within this world are crumbling and will only intensify in the days to come. You being true to your true nature, coming back home to this vastness that you are, operating and utilizing your great light in the world. You will help others to be liberated. You will allow others to shine. You will help others to help others that are perhaps struggling right now. Be of the mindful watch within your own consciousness, no longer giving yourself to the lies and the deceit. The eyes of eternity are there for you to see all beauty. The highest light that you can perceive, say yes to it now. When the trickster of separation continues to reveal itself, continue to see the deeper light within all life. Make a commitment today to be fully awake. Take the steps you know to take, beginning now. Archangel Michael. Feel the power, the sacred within. I'm here to protect and to hold a container for your light to shine. Never doubt that this strength is here for you, that it transcends all other concepts. For it's not only me, but it's the power of us all. Mother Mary, know your gentle sweetness makes all the difference. Just that drop in the ocean does have much more power than you can ever realize. Vast new opportunities to experience more of the expansiveness of who you are lie in the sweetness of who you are. Awaken to it. Thank you. Mary Magdalene. Marys. Awaken to this mystery. coming back to your divine feminine, the potency, the power of all creation from this feminine energy. Feel the buzz in your sacral. Feel the buzz of energy. Let all relax within the potency of your being. Let the flame be lit. Thank you. Okay, Jesus. Let the lightness unfold within your heart. The sacred heart is the beauty that you are. Allow more of the fun of life to reveal itself within the sacred heart. Thank you for how seriously you do take this path. Yet I want you to experience more of the pleasure and the lightness, to laugh, to play, to rest, and to let it be so much easier for you to play and create, to bring presence and delight to the world, dear brothers and sisters. We are all one. We are all unified in the light. Remember this now and always. Thank you. Saint Germain. Things are going to get wild around here. Look, okay, that's the first message. Things are going to get wild around here. But there is the opportunity, as Master Jesus referenced, to play and create within all scenarios. Even children can play in the midst of a battlefield. Remember who you really are. Keep playing, keep expanding, keep in the lightness. Even if there's bombs, so-called bombs detonating. Remember, there's something you're there to be present to, an energy to connect with, something to be present with, and perhaps to interact and to play with, to play upon. It's like a grand piano. You can play with all of it. Let it become lighter. Let it become easier. Let it all come into awakening. The heaviness of your own life becomes small as you connect into this larger field. Come join us here. Thank you. Okay, all right. Well, Laura, I'm hearing that's what's it feels like a completion came through to me. So we'll leave it there, just knowing we've already gone pretty long, I guess. So
That was awesome, and I love the part about the play and create. You can always play, and no matter what's happening, there's always moments that you can play, because we are here to play, not just struggle and strive and all that stuff. We're also here to play. So I love that message about playing. And playing means enjoying your life. And when we're enjoying our lives, when we're playing, it's kind of like we're basically saying to God, source, creator, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad I'm here. I'm appreciating, I'm receiving this experience and this moment. And it's kind of, for me, that's how it felt. It's a blessing that we can even play, and receiving that blessing, and at the same time acknowledging, being grateful to source, to spirit, that we are here and being able to create an experience. And just, enjoy this life. Sometimes, it's like, yes, there's a great moments. Sometimes there's like not so great, but most of the moments are what you make of them, right? So, what is our potential? Our potential is to create whatever we want, to have whatever experiences we want. This is, a lot of work that we can do with ourselves for sure. And that's why Daniel's packages are wonderful. They can assist you in clearing some of your energy, maintaining your energy, clearing some beliefs, etc. But the potential of what is available for you is huge, huge. So great, beautiful messages. When Mary Magdalene came on as well, when Mother Mary came on, it was so sweet. And it's like, I just had a smile on my face, and Jesus came on and Saint Germain, it's like, oh, our whole tribe is here, so like, oh, beautiful. So thank you. Those were really beautiful channelings and beautiful wisdom and beautiful information and energy that you brought through. So I was really feeling that. So thank you.
Yeah, I was grateful to share, and yeah, the opportunity for us to play and create at a whole nother level is even more for us, those that are already more awake, during this time. And things will get more difficult for people that aren't, like, I'm not saying it's necessarily the people here, but I'm saying, like, in general, people are not, very awake right now are going to suffer much more in the days ahead, at least what I've been told. So, but there's massive opportunity for you guys, and that's why we have to keep raising higher, because ultimately, we're here to uplift everybody, in the big picture. So, so there is an urgency. I think, we're like, well, we're eternal beings, whatever the hell with it, it doesn't matter, does it? Hopefully it doesn't matter too much, because I know there's probably new things I should be doing, but but it's like, no, it's like, it's so much funner, just think about the fun you could be having, stepping into who you are, etc. So I just love to share more with you. I know I'm like, oh wow, I'd love to share a channel prayer, but I don't know if we really have time for that as well. But what do you think, Laura?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and then we'll finally wrap this thing up. But let's do a brief one. Okay, if you guys want to join me, take a nice deep breath then. In through your nose, up through your crown chakra, up through your higher self, of the love light source energy, up into the all. And as you exhale through your mouth slowly, let this energy come back down through your higher self, down through your crown chakra, down through all your chakras, all the way down through your feet, down through your root chakra, down to the core of the earth. As I speak these words in the I am, for everyone listening, my voice, as I recognize God, love, light, source, spirit is all there is. I'm grateful that the triumphant spirit of source God is infinite creativity and possibilities, and I'm grateful that I'm stepping into it. I know that I'm grateful to release the sense of old wounding that women are supposed to be, in the kitchen, or the women are supposed to be bearing children, the women are supposed to be doing whatever. And I release these ideas, these notions that I'm anything less, or I'm unworthy, or I didn't get it right, or I'm not enough. I'm grateful to release these ideas. I'm releasing these ideas today. I'm willing to step into my full power. I know I'm infinite power. I'm willing to step more into that full power. The full power is within me. I'm willing to step into it and know that I'm ready to say yes to the things that have been bubbling up for me today and for eons. And I'm saying yes to them. As I say yes to them, I allow them to start unfolding, because I know that the divinity within me is the wholeness and wellness I already am. And I know that transcends any sense of lack, limitations, and doubts, that I'm releasing that, because I know it's not true. It's the mind, it's the pain body. It says, you're not enough, you're not this, and then I recognize that again. And I realize that I'm willing to step forward, experience the radiation of my being into the world, knowing that it turns on the lights for everyone. It's like a light in the dark that turns on the lights for everyone. And I'm grateful to be a part of that. Know that creates heaven on earth. That creates money flowing into my life. That creates money fulfillment for me at all, because I'm in such a great energy that's naturally coming into me, because I'm claiming my value. I'm claiming the strength of who I am. I'm claiming that that source is worth it. I'm acknowledging source in all of my work. Source is worth the hundreds or thousands of dollars I want to receive in my business, or my career, or or whatever, out of the sky, whatever gift of 10 grand, 100 grand, whatever it is, I'm grateful to say, yes, that it is mine. That's mine already. It's done. I'm just grateful to receive so that I can be an example for the world and give all the glory to Source. And so how so many people give glory to God for everything, give glory to God or Source, whatever I want to call it. I give glory all to that and let it be revealed again and again that all is possible. Where people say, oh my God, everything's going into disaster. I transcend the news headlines of the mind. That is the much of the media. And I'm grateful to say, no, there's triumphant spirit of Source God. I see love everywhere and everyone, no matter who they are, and within me. And I'm grateful to transmute the wounds of the shadows and step into my full power and potential and use my gifts to awaken others, to bring awakening to all. And as I do so, I'm grateful to thrive and I bring thrival to all that are suffering, because what I feel I'm suffering from, I'm meant to address within me and to share my gifts with others to help them probably with the same things or similar things. And I'm grateful to start doing so. As I do so, I'm grateful to do my work fully, totally, and completely, and know that I'm ready to rock at my next level, no matter what. I'm a big yes, 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 a million times yes, 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 a million times to it. And I know that as I say a yes to it, I'm letting it be easy and fun and creative and flowing and joyful. So I let it all be so, and I'm grateful to experience the flowering of who I am fully in my being and in the world, for me and for all. As I let it be so, let it be done. Thank you, God, and so it is. Amen. Okay. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Wow. I really felt that. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. That was unbelievable. I'm still buzzing, I think is the word. I'm like glowing and buzzing. And it's like, yes, 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 yes. A million times yes. Yes, so powerful. Thank you. Amazing. Exactly. I can't find the words. It was, whew. I was like, preach it, go ahead, go on. That was awesome. Wow, so powerful.
My pleasure, Laura, and I look forward to serving more and more of you. It's Team Ascension, team whatever, right? Team Ascension, I guess. We'll go with that. Like, but let's go. Let's get the groove on. For those of you that want to receive more from me, I'm just honored. I'm grateful in advance, and grateful to turn on the lights ever brighter within you and in the world. And I'm looking forward to it.
And I keep saying our gifts are needed right now, and even more so, coming up in the next, couple of years, etc. Our gifts are needed. So this is the time for you to share your gifts. And if you need more training, well, Daniel's programs are going to give it to you all. It's all in there. So you have all the tools, all the gifts you need.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt, but they need to know, like, I'm telling you, I've heard people say at times lately, oh my God, there's inflation. I'm like, you listen, that's what you need to transcend. You have got to transcend. The people that are going to thrive during these times are not going to be with those ideas. They're going to be with the understanding of who you really are, which has nothing to do with all these ideas of the numbers. And we look at this index and that index, what's this doing, what's that doing? Hell with all that. Be you, thrive, prosper, all that doesn't, that's all the outward nonsense. It's just a bunch of oh, it's a scary monster over there, right? Absolutely. It's a mirage. It's not real. It's not completely real. It's pointing into your power. Every single illusion is pointing into the depth of power that's within you. So remember that.
Yeah. It's all within you. It's all within you. You have it all. So it's everything is possible. Anything and everything that you truly desire from your heart is possible. Yeah. Oh my goodness, that was so exciting, Daniel. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Laura.
I'm so pumped up. My face is like so red now from all this energy.
Awesome. Okay.
Thank
Awesome.
you so much. And thank you so much, everyone. And again, please do
everyone.
Check out Daniel's packages. They're available at alara.at/show/Daniel11. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Much love and blessings.
Thank you. Much love. Bye for now. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye for now.